Alright, so here's my pool. As you can see, it hasn't been cleaned or chemicals for past 3-4 years. Looks pretty bad. So today I'm going to be acid washing the pool. Right now I'm draining it. For draining purpose, I simply bought a pump from Amazon. This pump right here. The pump is very reasonably cheap. I think it was like 50 bucks I paid for it. It's leaking, so I'm gonna have to fix it. Leaking meaning leaking from the hose connection. But other than that, it's a very good. It's a great pump for the price I paid. For draining purpose, I'm using the flex hose and also the hose from my pool filter. This is the flex hose. I just connected it on my pool filter. It's easily connected. It's the same size as the pump entrance. I think it's 1.25 inches. So the same size as the connection. As you can see, my pool is pretty stained. I tried acid washing it. Like this area is acid washed. You can see the difference. But I still have stains on my deck. So from here, I finished the acid wash and now I'm pressure washing it just to see if it makes any difference. It is making some difference, but not a whole lot. I'm not sure what type of stain this is, but I'm gonna try a few different methods and I'll keep you guys posted. Okay, so I just need to pressure wash this much more and then we'll see what the result is. So going back to the pump, there is an advantage of getting this kind of pump is you can connect this hose and you can run it down to your drain line and just pump out any acid or any when you're draining your pool instead of draining into the outside. You definitely don't want to drain it to the outside. What do you call them? The drain field and stuff. So it's probably better to just put it like in your bathroom and stuff and just let the pool drain. And same with the chemicals. Okay, so I did not go through the entire process of how to acid wash. There is a lot of videos that you can see on YouTube how to acid wash a pool, but I will and want to share some of the experience, and you can see my kid playing here. Some of the experience that I went through and I learned as I cleaned my pool with the stains and everything, and as you can see, it's very clean now. So I already showed you guys the pump that needs to be used. One of the things that I use is a small vacuum, a wet vacuum that I used, and it could be anyone. I just have a smaller one. What I use the vacuum for is to suck any water from the jets that you see all around the pool. I just basically put the nozzle on top of the jets, and also I removed the drain covers, both of them, and suck any water in the intake line. Also in the skimmer, I use that to remove, there's a hose at the bottom. I sucked any water from there as well, and believe it or not, there was a lot of gunky water that came out of the pipes, and you definitely want to do that because once you acid wash the pool and start filling up with the water stays in the water line, and if you don't take it out, then you're gonna pretty much put that water back in your pool. So that was a good thing that it just came in my mind, and I did that. Another thing I would highly recommend is to remove this light, and you can see I have not put the light back yet. I think I'm gonna replace it with the LED bulb. But the light assembly comes out. It's waterproof. You don't need to worry about removing it and then getting worried about how are you going to deal with the water going in and stuff. But it's a casing inside. It's all waterproof. There's just one screws on top that holds the light assembly, and once you remove that one screw on top, the whole thing comes up, and as you can see, you can just put it on your top deck, and that's pretty much it. And the reason I took it out is because there was inside that round thing, there was a lot of algae buildup that I really needed to clean, because again, if you start filling up your water, all that algae comes out and then you can have streaking lines. So that's something definitely you want to do. And I'm kind of glad I did that. A few things I do want to tell you guys. I had a hard time priming the pump, and basically when I turned the pump on, it was not doing anything. And I was worried, why isn't it pumping? I could not see any water in this, and also replaced the entire pump before doing that. So now I'm thinking, do I have a leak, or what exactly the problem is? So there are two. One of them is coming from the skimmer, the other one is coming from the two main drain lines, and it just goes in, and then you have your outside going to your filter, and then of course you have the heater coming back and you're turning it back to the pool. So that's one of the things that I was having a hard time with, and finally I decided to fill the pipes with water before even turning the pump on. So what I did was I used the silicone to seal all the rubber parts. Basically, there are some rubber gaskets right here. There are some rubber gaskets on these. What I did was I lubed them using a silicone tube. You can pick that up, silicone O-ring sealer. You can pick that up from anywhere. So I lubed them, put them together, and what I did was I brought the water hose. I removed the skimmer from here, and after I removed the skimmer, what I did was put the hose in there and turn the tap on and shoot the water inside the hose to fill it up. Now the water of course was coming out, so what I had to do was I took just a plastic bag, rolled it up like this, and tied it around the hose and just hold it there and let the water go. Now before I did that, I removed the cover from the pump motor, and just to make sure the water starts coming out. So I removed this cover, and of course the water started bubbling out from here. Took all the air out and filled it up with water. That was one of the things that I did. And then what I did was close this loop. Same thing, start injecting water with that thing closed, but I open up the air hose so the filter can fill up with water, so there's no air left in the system. So I try to take out as much as I can, then I turn the pump on, and then the pump starts priming on its own. And of course you're going to have some air in the system that needs to be come out, so of course you can open this up and start bleeding. That's mainly to bleed the hole, and as you can see I have no air bubbles in there, so that means the system does not have any leak, and you cannot see any leaks outside. So if you do see air bubbles inside here, that means you have a leak somewhere from your suction line. But if you do have a leak here, then you're going to see water seeping out. You're not going to see bubbles, but you're going to see water seeping out. And as you can see, I don't have any, so everything is working fine. And these are just some of the tips recommended. I just use the muriatic acid for the acid wash, brush, to brush off the algae. I would not recommend using this for the acid wash. A lot of people use this, but I use the hand pump with the sprayer. That works out really well, and it gives an even coat of the acid, so that's something I used. That's pretty much it, guys. It was not a bad thing. I did have some rust spots on the ground, and the best way to remove the rust spots is the muriatic acid. I did try this stuff. It did not work because the rust stains are so hard. You just spray some muriatic acid on there, wash it. You might have to repeat the process a few times. I did had a lot of stains on the wall that was not coming off, and I pretty much had to you can see my kid. I pretty much had to redo the acid wash, and then once I redid it with some pressure wash, and don't use the high pressure wash because that can damage your pool surface. So I use this electric pressure wash, which is not that much, 1750 psi, and that worked out great for me. Took off enough, and then the acid wash took care of the rest. So don't be scared of to acid wash it. 2 times or 3 times maximum. You know, you don't want to be using acid wash. You don't want to be putting acid and leaving there for a long time. The very first time I did it, I left it there for maybe 20 seconds or so, but then people were saying leave it for 30 seconds. I think I went 30 to 40 because my stains were really bad. You can compare it with the previous video, but as you can see, it really made a big difference. So if you have to clean, you gotta clean. So if you don't have a choice, if your acid wash is, if your pool is that bad, you're gonna have to do the acid wash twice. So other than that, that's pretty much it. Worked out great. I'm glad I'm done, and I'm just gonna put the pool light back, and everything is good. Just make sure when you remove the pool light fixture, the power is turned off completely. That's very dangerous. It can definitely kill you. And one of the things I would highly recommend during acid wash is get yourself one of those heavy-duty masks from Home Depot or Lowe's. I think they call it the respiratory system or something. But those are the big ones, the alien ones. On filter on both sides. That really prevents. Nothing is more important than your lungs, guys. So use that. Just make sure you're protecting yourself from getting hurt. So that's it. Hope you guys don't have any other questions. Thanks.